Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Trey, back with another article review video. Yes, I did say article review. You see the title: Fitness Habits That Do More Harm Than Good. Yeah, so this is from the New York Post. I get notifications from them all the freaking time for every freaking category, but I only really focus on health-related, physical fitness, all that. That's the ones I mostly focus on, unless something interesting, game related, or something that I just can't ignore come up. But anyway, before we get to this article, go ahead and hit that like button, trying to trigger the algorithm, and throw a middle finger at it while you're at it. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Hit that notification bell for all future uploads, and share this with anybody who might be interested in watching this new video. But without further ado, let's get to this article. All right, got the article here on the screen. Yeah, you see it says I'm a weight loss coach. These 5 fitness habits do more harm than good, but it depends on the person, because certain habits might be better for some people, but other habits might be, you get what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to keep it simple as possible, how I explain things the best of my ability anyway. But let's get to this article since it's on the screen. And of course, I don't really say the name of the person that wrote it. Don't feel like it. You'll see it on the screen. All right. It starts off saying they didn't work out. Jenna Rizzo, a women's weight loss coach from Georgia. Oh Lord, from Georgia. I'm sorry. Of course, because I live in Georgia. I'm from Bama. I live in Georgia. Of course, there had to be somebody from Georgia. But I digress. I'm going to get to this article and stop playing around. Weight loss coach from Georgia is sharing 5 common fitness habits she says did nothing for her body or mind. So basically, it's from her opinion. Keep in mind, when somebody takes something from their opinion, it might not work for them. But at the same time, you never know. It might not work for you. It might work for the next person. So you got to keep it more objective, okay? A bit more objective. When I first started, I literally knew nothing about fitness. I did what everybody else did and turned to social media for guidance. Rizzo revealed to her 77,000 TikTok followers in a clip last month, and this is how she looks like. Not a bad looking woman. I mean, she looks like she's in shape, but if she's been there for years, then you're going to make your, look, when you going to start a fitness journey, you're going to make your mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Even I did. But then again, my fitness journey really started in school. So really, I always been about fitness. It was just more so the diet side. That was my problem, the diet side. It still kind of is the problem. But anyway, I'm not going to read the caption to the video. It's basically just repeating what we just read already. Over the years, I picked up a lot of healthy habits, but there are plenty that cause me a lot more harm than good. She continued. I tell you what they are so you can make a lot faster progress than me. Like I said, anything that is that person's opinion, it might work for the next person, but it might not work for another. So everybody is different. So always take anybody that has an opinion about something that might work and will not work, unless it's been scrutinized and proven with fact. Take it with a grain of salt. Rizzo no-nos include going too hard in the gym. That depends on the person. Assigning rules to food. Again, depends on the person. Trying to look like someone else. I can understand that one right there. Using shame as a motivating factor. Oh my goodness. Shame has been around for years. What's wrong with using shame? We'll get more on that later. We'll actually start talking about that one. And not prioritizing sleep. Okay, that's the one I completely agree with. I completely agree with the last one. Definitely. That's the one thing. You gotta have your sleep. But anyway, we're gonna get to it. Going too hard in the gym. You don't need to go balls to the wall crazy in the gym multiple times a week. Hey, some people get their fits that way and it works for them, but it's not gonna work for everybody. We're so sure. I told myself I was gonna leave a commentary while I'm reading, but I can't help it. We're so sure it will not change your body the way you think it will, and probably get burned out really fast. So tell my clients now that we want to stimulate, not annihilate. Now, if you're first starting out, then I can understand. Yeah, you should not be going balls to the wall, for sure. Yeah, if you're first starting out, but once you get your feet wet, start getting the routine going, and you look for more of a challenge, then yeah, and you get used to it, then yeah, go balls to the wall. But of course, that usually takes some years to get to that balls to the wall level. Just saying. A 2021 study found that too much exercise can increase the risk of atrial fibrillation, which is a regular heartbeat. Atrial fibrillation is basically, you got 4 chambers of the heart. 2 of them are atrias, and the other are, it starts with a V. I always mispronounce it. Yeah, if y'all know what I'm talking about, because I always mispronounce it. I know how to spell and everything, but I just fuck up. I mess up. Excuse me if I said, I dropped the F-bomb, but I just mess up pronouncing it sometimes. But yeah, it's just 2 smaller chambers. Those are the atrias. When the atria start doing this, that's atrial fibrillation, which causes that regular heartbeat, which throws off the heartbeat, basically. But anyway, it's also been tied to, it's one of those long words I always have problem pronouncing. Rhomboidomyolysis. Yeah. If it's anything, look, I know what it means, but I always have a problem with pronouncing words. I'm sorry. That's just me. But anyway, a rare condition characterized by extreme muscle breakdown. Yeah, that is. Also, that's where muscle atrophy come in at. That's where, what's that older condition called? It'll come to me later. But symptoms include muscle aches and swelling, weakness, fatigue, dark urine or little to no urine at all. Woo, yeah, dark urine. That's that really jaundice, real dark yellow orange type urine. That kind of urine, that's what they're talking about. But normally you have to have all these symptoms, not just one. No one has to have all. So yeah, for that to happen. Of course, skip that. External, I'm not going to pronounce that word again. I'm not going to butcher it. Can occur after strenuous exercise and from high intensity workouts during which the muscles are overused. That's why they always tell you when you do resistance training. I know I'm talking too much. When you do resistance training, you're supposed to do it two to three times a week. Recommended. No more than 4 times a week. You should always have you should be doing resistance training every other day. That's how it should be going. Every other day. Not every day, but of course you got people that do it every day because that's what they like to do. But some people are used to it. Some people are not. If you get into it, doing it every day ain't gonna work for you. So yeah. Anyway, where I left off at. Dr. I'm butchering his name. Nilofar Nobosk, an associate clinical professor of nephrology at UCLA said last year you can also get ribo. Why did I not do that first? Just to say the short name. Ribo from direct trauma, such as crushing injury from a motor vehicle accident or fall. Basic like paralysis, nerve injuries. Yeah, that kind of injury. UCLA health experts recommend scheduling rest days, varying the intensity and lengths of workouts, eating a balanced diet, staying hydrated, and getting good sleep to promote optimal fitness. Yeah. And yes, conditions like that do occur if you go too hard. But like I said, if you give yourself proper rest in between workouts or changing the what exercise group, muscle group you're working on, it also helps too. That's what most bodybuilders do. They resist trainings every day, but they change the muscle groups they work on every day. I'm the type of person, I'll do resist training. I'll not do it 3 times a week. I'll do it 3 times a week. I'll do an upper body, a lower body, and one that's core, but it's more like core / full body. Because core does involve more full body movements. But yeah, that's how I break mine down. But yeah, like I said, everybody's different. Everybody got a different routine. But anyway, let's continue. I told myself I wasn't going to talk as much, but I can't help it. I can't help it. Assigning rules to food. More pictures of her. Not trying to promote her. That ain't the goal. Saying that I'm not allowed to eat this because that's bad, or I didn't work out today, or I can only eat carbs in the morning and not at night. Obviously, this is very harmful to your relationship with food, as Rizzo explained. Okay, to that sentiment, how she said it, at least part of that, I can understand. Because you do got some people that will restrict your carbs way too much. And the thing is, your body depends on carbs, as carbs is the primary energy source for the human body. If you restrict your carbs, guess what your body's going to start using for energy? It's going to start breaking down your muscles and your fat. It's not going to break down just one or the other. It's going to break down protein in your body and store fat in your body as energy. It's going to do that. It's for somebody that's trying to build muscle, that's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. So yeah. Anyway, this actually caused me to develop a binge and restrict cycle that took me a long time to break out of. That sounds like if it's binge eating disorder, that sounds like bulimia. If you don't know what bulimia nervosa is, look it up. I might put the name up on the screen somewhere, on the video somewhere. But bulimia nervosa, that's probably one she's talking about. No food is inherently good or bad. There are some that are less nutritious, some that are a little bit more nutritious. Go at it with that mindset instead. I'm that kind of person, but I still have my little diets where I have cravings. Yeah, that's my problem. But my cravings are only limited to a few things. It's not a lot. Not anything. I don't eat anything. I can't do that. Not like I used to. Anyway, there's no one size fits all healthy eating plan, but experts agree it's important to consume a variety of fruits, veggies, whole grains, proteins, and dairy or fortified soy alternatives. For me, I lack the fruits part. Yeah, I can get plenty of veggies. Actually, surprisingly, I get plenty of veggies. Surprisingly, but I'd like the fruit side of it. That's my problem. But anyway, trying to look like someone else. At the end of the day, no matter how much you can appreciate somebody's physique and say they are body goals, you will not look exactly like them. Rizzo said, you can eat this exact same way they eat. You can train this exact same way they train. You will not look just like them. She continues. So get that out of your head. Become the best version of yourself. I mean, it's nothing wrong with trying to look like somebody. I mean, another person could be that person's inspiration to get there. And some people actually attain it. Yeah, they might not actually look like them, but there's nothing wrong with having inspiration to get to your goal. You want to be just like in that same shape as that person, not necessarily look like them completely, but at least they basically looking at the person as the ideal shape, size, and look. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it is. You just don't want to do that too much, like she said. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Trying to look like somebody. It's really not necessarily a bad thing. This one. Use a shame as a motivating factor. I would get really hard on myself if I ate something that I was supposed to eat or missed a workout that I was supposed to miss. She recalled. Over time, this is just me to have an overall negative perception of myself, fitness, eating healthy. It was bad. There's nothing wrong with shame a little bit, because guess what? Normally shame will steer you to back to that goal sometimes. A little shame does not hurt, but a lot of it can have the opposite effect. So a little shame is healthy, but too much of it is not that healthy. Instead of beating yourself up for strain from your workout routine, try to adopt the mindset that any and all movement is worth it. Everything counts. Dr. Michelle Seeger, a sustainable change researcher at the University of Michigan, author of Joy Choice, How to Finally Achieve Lasting Change and Eat Exercise, told Wall Street Journal last year. As laid out in the physical activity guidelines for Americans, adults should try for 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening a week. That's basically the ACSM guidelines. You don't know what ACSM is? It's the American College of Sports Medicine. They are an organization that overlooks physical fitness or daily activities guidelines for pretty much for the average person, most average people anyway. And I do have a certification to them, but I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, that's who makes those guidelines, because it's important, because physical activity in your life actually helps us have a more longer and fulfilled life. But a lot of us is not hitting that number. I always reach for 10,000 steps every day, but most of the time I overachieve. I will have that laser day or two in a week where I don't get to 10,000, but I'll be close to it. But like days I'm working, I'm almost 20,000, 25, 30,000 steps all the time. Yeah. Anyway, that doesn't mean you have to hit the gym. Walking briskly or raking the yard is fine too. Yeah, just simple house chores get you there. Especially an older person, yeah, simple house chores definitely get you moving around. Especially if you live young, that keeps you active. But some extra strengthening work will help you out too. But anyway, let's keep moving. And the last one, not prioritizing sleep. Like I said, all these, this is the one I 100% agree with. Adults should aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night. Chronic sleep deprivation, I know that's not the right pronunciation, but I do mess it up, has been linked to obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, as well as depression, anxiety, and poor mental health. Well, I don't get much sleep anyway. I only average about 5-6 hours sleep. I'm a military vet, so but trust me, my body does sneak in the extra hours on days I'm off. I get about 9, 10, 11 hours of sleep on those off days. While I'm working, I'm only sleeping about 4 or 5, 6 hours for sure. Anyway, you don't need to work out 7 days a week. Like 3 or 4 is perfectly fine for some reason. And you cannot expect to make a really good progress only getting 6-7 hours of sleep at night. I'm a good example of that, only getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep. So that depends. Yes, sleep is important, but like I said, it depends on each individual person. Everybody's different. Some people can function on 5 hours sleep. I can function on 5 hours sleep 5-6 days a week. And that one day I get like 10, 11, 12 hours of sleep. But like I said, everybody's different. Sleep is important, but everybody's different. But that was the end of the article. Give me a second here. Like I said, of all of these, the one I agree with 100%, which I probably said twice already, was the not prioritizing sleep. That was definitely important, because without sleep, you won't get no kind of gains at all. Going too hard in the gym depends on the person. So she must not be paying attention to some of the bodybuilders that be in the gym. They go hard all the time, and that works fine for them. But like I said, it depends on the person. So I can't completely agree on going too hard in the gym as a bad habit. Unless you're a newbie and you just getting back into fitness, then going hard in the gym won't be great, obviously. Sign rules to full food depends on the person. It completely depends on the person. Trying to look like somebody else, again, if that person is their inspiration and they want to try and get to that, is this that their ideal body or look, why not let them have that? Because there are some people who have somebody in their circle or they idolize that is their ideal, and they want to be like ideal, and they will work hard to do that. That's their motivating factor. So if you take away trying to look like somebody else, then what's their motivating factor? Because that's one of those motivating factors called extrinsic motivation, external motivation. That what helps them. So don't take that away from them. Using shame, you got a few people who could thrive off of negative motivation. I'm one of them. I don't need shame, but I do be hard on myself. And I actually thrive off that negative motivation because I'm internally, I can motivate myself, and I shame myself sometimes when doing these exercises. I'm like, you can do this. Lift that up. I'll be telling I call my name self every name in the book. So I use shame. So it works for me. It's not gonna work for everybody, but it's gonna work for some people. But like I said, that's pretty much the end of this article. That's pretty much it. Don't be surprised. This is like over 15 minutes, something like that. I am gonna speed up commentary if I haven't already. And I'm gonna add a few things into this video. Like I said, anyway, if you made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button, try to trigger that YouTube algorithm and try and give it that middle finger a little bit. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment, tell me what you think about this article or my commentary. I know I told myself I was gonna limit my talking while reading this, but I can't help it sometimes. I think that's just my personal charm. I don't know. Hit that notification bell for all future uploads and share this with anybody who might need to hear this, hear my commentary, or read this article, whatever. But anyway, until next time, I catch you on the flip side. Y'all have a good one and peace. Oh, great. I wasn't on the right screen.